Hey, Tony Gasser here popping in. Another episode of Talks with Tony. Now, this is a long letter here, so y'all got to bear with me. And I only got 30 minutes, but this is the only window of time I had today. So I'm going to try to keep this at 30 minutes, and hopefully I don't have to do a part two. But if I do, I'll do it after my coaching session. So let me turn this brightness up on here. Let's see. Hello, Mr. Gaskins. Thank you for opening this email and reviewing it. I am deeply appreciative of your guidance and patience. I had just saved up enough money to book a coaching session with you. Well, I saved up for 4 sessions, and you have announced your thoughts to retire. I do pray that you will reconsider retiring in 2021 or possibly offer some coaching sessions. You can get coaching sessions, just got to email support at TonyGaskins.com. Email support. We only have the VIP sessions, so it's a little more, but you still can get coaching sessions. I understand that if you do continue to offer one-on-one coaching sessions in 2021, the price may need to increase given the workload, but know that I have prepared for this. Now that I have said all of this, I'll get into my question. And speaking of, for the coaches, aspiring coaches who want to be able to join MyMentor.life to get clients, make sure you go to TonyGaskinsAcademy.com. The link is in the description to take your certification course. Go ahead and get trained, because when that price changes this year, it'll never be that price again. So understand that, okay? It's only $500 right now. Some people charging $5,000 for the same type of information. So I don't want you to say, "Oh, you ain't tell me." And don't write in, "Can you do 5?" Nope. This where it's at, all right? The price is going to change probably by March. Back to the letter. Much of your content is geared towards women older than myself. I am 23 years old, and I believe this is because young women my age aren't very forthcoming with what we are experiencing. So I'll do it for us. As mentioned earlier, I am 23 years old. To provide more context, I graduated from Spelman College in 2019. I took what you said about the 3 Bs very seriously and got to work. I have my own company and work from home within my friend's company. I'm an athlete. Well, I was an athlete, and the body is well kept from my days as a figure skater and ballerina. Now I have been working on myself since I experienced a romantic trauma where a man, forced himself within my own home. He was a man I believed I could trust as a friend. After this experience, I became shut off and didn't allow anyone in. I have gone to therapy, continued therapy, and a common theme that comes up is my desire for partnership, but my unwillingness to let someone in at 23 years old. Mr. Gaskins, I'll admit that I am tired. I have had 2 boyfriends. I have been proposed to multiple times and have said no each time because I did not feel either of those men were my husband. And later on, they showed me exactly why they weren't my husband. So I am glad I said no firmly. I have my fair share of situationships in college and recently had to block a grown boy, again, because he wouldn't leave me alone after I left him. Currently, I am attracting older men. When I say older, I mean no older than 32 years old and no younger than 24 years old. These men are employed either in corporate or own their own companies, live in their own homes, and are mostly put together. I say mostly because what's lacking is the emotional intelligence that I require in order for a relationship to work. I'm young, I make good money working from home and operating my own company. I've started a savings journey because I currently live at home with my grandfather as I am his caretaker. My grandfather has actually motivated me to look for an apartment because he wants me to hang out, as he calls it. I think my grandfather worries about me because he's 80 years old and he wants me to be happy and coupled like he's so used to. My grandpa has been a bit more vocal about me getting out, hanging out, safety, of course, and letting someone love me. Basically, Mr. Gaskins, everyone in my life wants me to get a boyfriend slash husband because they feel that I have everything else together. The thing is, Mr. Gaskins, I'm scared to get out and start dating. I come from a family where people get married. I have examples of marriage. I have examples of healthy partnership. This is why when that young man took advantage of me, every man in my family was ready to find him and get him gone. Right now, there's a man in my life who I believe wants to take things to the next level, but I'm blocking it because I'm scared and he feels that. We had a conversation where he expressed that he holds back because he doesn't want me to feel pressured into anything. He is so sweet. We live within the same neighborhood and met walking to the train. He just spoke up and said hello, and we've been seeing each other ever since. I'm the one who said I like to keep things friendly, and he seemed to begrudgingly agree. As we got to know each other more, he opened up to me, and I opened to him. And I explained to him that I've had experiences in my life that didn't work out, and being only a year out of school, a new business owner, and a young woman saving up for her own condo, I'm not sure if a relationship is where I need to be right now. He also said something similar about himself. He's 30, isn't dating just to date, and wants more than what he has. He has the job, the money, the house. He has all of the material things, but he doesn't have a wife. Mr. Gaskins, this man shows up for me. He cares for me. He is reliable. He doesn't let me lift a finger. Now, he isn't a perfect man because I do have to check him about his emotional intelligence, but when I do check him, he changes his behavior immediately and he does apologize. We communicate very well, even in disagreement. Mr. Gaskins, he has made it quite clear to me where he wants to go moving forward, but I've been just scared because I don't want to have my feelings hurt. In college, I almost, she put it again in all caps, was married, but as mentioned before, I said no because I just knew that man wasn't my husband. I do not want to scare this man away or push him away because of my fear. I also don't want to waste his time, but he isn't going anywhere. Mr. Gaskins, it has been almost a year with me and this man. And yes, marriage was discussed and he brought it up. He also met my mother, Mr. Gaskins, and has been introducing me to his people. If I read my name one more time in here now, I'm like, now I sure appreciate this respect. I ain't never been this mister. I'm like, wow, I'm over here classy. I'm not, do I need to sit straight up? He keep calling me Mr. Gaskins. I'm like, do I need to get me a cup of tea and put that pinky out there? Like, my goodness, hey, forgive me now. I just ain't never been disrespected in my life. Disrespected. I ain't say, y'all, it sound like I said disrespect. I have never been disrespected in my life. Thank you very much. Now, I do know that sometimes older men just want them a young thing who gets a ring for decoration and some kids, LOL. My cousin is in the NBA and was a player for 10 years and is currently a coach in the NBA. I have all my life been around older men who scoop up young girls just to make them baby machines. So I've been schooled in the game about that, and my cousin does everything to keep his players away from me since I was 18 because they came sniffing, Mr. Gaskins, which is why when he and I met, I was a bit apprehensive. I did not know his age at first, but I thought he was around 27 years old, which he picked up on because he asked if I was comfortable with him being 29. When he and I met, he was 29 and his birthday was this year, this letter from last year. I didn't ask him his age either. I just knew he was older than myself and knew it was more than just a year or two. Mr. Gaskins, when I met the man I have been talking about in this email, I told my best friend that I think I met my husband. This is my husband. I have not been on my back at all, Mr. Gaskins. I have been abstinent for 2 years because I understand the power of abstinence. Mr. Gaskins, my question is, how do I, a 23-year-old woman, let go and allow a man to love me? Yeah, I'm going to tell you this right here. You don't let him love you. Somebody else finna let him love him. That's the first thing I'm going to tell you. As I'm reading about this here man, okay, if he all of this here, and I believe he all this because you got too much education, you got too much sense, and you done been through some things. If he all of this right here, listen here, them women lining up around the corner. Okay, he sound like he's single because he picky. He sound like he's single because he picky, and he sound like because of how he presents himself and all that he does, a lot of women fall on their back. You've been abstinent for 2 years because you understand the power of abstinence. That right there is blowing him. He used to women being on their back. Now, you met him when he was 29, he 39. So y'all have been talking for a little while. And he say he don't want to rush anything. He take his time. When his emotional intelligence is low, you check him and he changes his behavior. That's all that is good signs. All that is good signs. Now see, okay, now, all right, I see your name right here, CEO. All right, I see your company now. All right, I can't give you your company no shout out because then it be tell all your business. Okay, all right, I see. Okay, all right. All right, cool little company you got there. Okay, all right. So your family got a grant for the college students. All right. So you come from a good old family. Now the way how I knew you come from a good family, let me see. I can't really see because you ain't really got your picture and you making a funny face in there. So that show a little personality, that you got a little bit of clown in you. You like to play around a little bit. Got a sense of humor. I can tell by the face you making in that picture. Now, and then whoever that was you said in the NBA, what you say, your cousin or your brother? Cousin in the NBA, 10 years now he coaching in the NBA. Okay, you're a good old family. Now when you said you do ballerina and figure skater and ballerina, I said okay, because you a black woman. This my first time figure skater and ballerina, so your family diverse. And then you went to Spelman too. Oh yeah. Now, and the man met you walking to the train. You say your body taken care of, that you take care of your body, and you was an athlete, and the body is well kept from my days as a figure skater and ballerina. So it sound like y'all was walking to that train. That brother looked over there, seen something bouncing. Saw some thighs, saw some calf muscles. Like, hello. That brother had to speak. You hear me? And so, based on what he saw, hello. Yes, how are you today? I just saw you walking, wanting to speak. So he didn't introduce himself. Now, this here, what you dealing with. Now, here's where the hang up is. I'm going to tell you this, and this is not just 23-year-olds. And I don't say ages on my videos, but I'm talking to everybody. Everybody who old enough to get on their back, I'm talking to you. For some people, that's 13. Some people 16, some people is 18. Everybody old enough to get on their bike, I'm talking to you. So all my videos is to you, even at 23. I want to make that clear because I've been getting a lot of letters from y'all on 26 and unders. And so I teach relationship and love principles. So that's across the board. The same principles apply to a 23-year-old that it applies to a 73-year-old. Just stay off your back. Keep your legs closed. Keep your eyes open. Learn the red flags so you can recognize when you see them. Those principles don't change. Morals change. Values change. The reason why you struggling right here. The reason why you're struggling is what you call it struggling, is because you have to continue to learn, to heal, and to grow. When what happened to you with that gentleman who forced himself, and this is somebody that you thought you could trust, that sense of betrayal, when a man that you know can betray you that way and try to destroy you emotionally that way, that removes all trust that you have for the male species. That removes all trust. That puts up a wall, a block, a guard, and it sends you into a place of fear. Because if a person that you know and that you thought you could trust would do something like that, then your mind is saying, well, what is every other man capable of? And so that is a normal response that you're feeling. And it is a defense mechanism. But here's the thing. It's not a bad thing. You're 23 years old. You're 23 years old. What you got to realize is you are a baby. So it's almost every woman that I coach have gone through what you've gone through. And that's sad. Think about that. That is sad. That almost every woman I coach has had a man sexually assault her. That's sad. And that's why I go so hard. And that's why anybody come over here telling me I'm doing too much, I'm going too hard on these men, that's why I do what I do. Because men are not going through the same thing. Men are not being forced every single day, every few seconds. A man is not being forced to give his body to a woman. And that's why I try to tell people it's not the same. People say, yeah, you need to talk to the women too. You need to get on them too. But what the experiences are different. And so with what you're going through, that is happening. And what you have to realize is that there is healing. You doing therapy or you went to therapy, keep going to therapy. Keep going to therapy. Couple it with coaching. You got a good job. You making good money, it sounds. So couple. Hey, forgive me. I touched the wrong button and cut my video off. You got a good job. So you got to couple that therapy with coaching. Because what you're going to have to learn and get comfortable with is the mind of men, so that you can learn a man and learn the ways, his ways, the little subtle things that you may not pick up on as a young woman. When you learn that in coaching, then it starts to just jump off the page to you. Now it's jumping off the page and you're like, whoa, okay, I see this. That was a red flag that I missed. That was a red flag that I didn't understand how the seriousness of that red flag. I was coaching a young lady earlier today, and she's 10 years older than you. And she's going through a divorce, and she mentioned the red flags that she saw. And some of the red flags was yelling and screaming and cursing and calling her out of her name. Had she talked to me at your age, she would have never went through that. So you have an opportunity right now to learn to avoid a whole lot more trouble. Because had that young lady talked to a coach, that coach would have said, listen, that's not a red flag that you sweep under the rug. If a man yelling at you and calling you out of your name, that is a deal breaker. But see, a lot of times women, you don't really, you're a woman, so you're not going to fully know a man. And then the men in your life may not have the gifting or the calling to fully articulate the ways of men. And so therefore, knowledge, what they say, knowledge is power. The reason why they say knowledge is power is because knowledge produces confidence. And when you are confident, you are powerful. So although this sounds very, very deep, with you being stuck and wondering why won't you let love in, it's really because your heart does not feel complete enough, knowledgeable enough, healed enough, comfortable enough to drop your guard so that you can let this man in. You fear him as a man. You fear him as a spiritual being. You fear him as someone that you do not truly know, because you don't know in your heart if what he is exhibiting is a deal-breaking red flag. So he has shown you some instances of low emotional intelligence. His EQ has been shown to be low. So here's the thing. You have to get feedback. Although you checked him and he changed that behavior momentarily, temporarily, for the time being, we don't know if it's completely gone. We don't know if he's completely learned and changed for good. We don't know if he will revert back to that behavior if y'all become a complete exclusive item. We don't know if he will revert back to that behavior if you start sleeping with him, or if you get engaged to him, or if you marry him. We don't know. So the space that you're in is actually your friend. This space is your friend. This space is not working against you, it's working for you. Because of what you've experienced and because of what you've seen and what you've done, you've already had men trying to marry you and you turned them down because they weren't the right one. That means that you're not a weak woman. It means that you're not a desperate woman. Your family is very productive and successful. It's so now, okay, walking to the train, I see your email say NYC. Okay, you got some money. It costs up there. Costs to live up there. Okay. So I don't know if your family was ever slaves, or if y'all ran away and got up north and got away, because I'm from the South. This ain't common. This right here ain't common. I don't know if anybody done told you. For a black woman to be a figure skater and ballerina, can't nobody come on here and try to act like that's common. Like, oh, what, Tony? I know 50. I know every person I grew up with was a black woman ballerina. If anybody come on here and say that, you got to get slapped in your mouth, because you lying. Figure skater and ballerina. So your family broke the code. I mean, not broke the code, escaped the matrix. And y'all built different. And that's honestly, when you was in college at Spelman in the South, them men, if they were from the South, or they could be from anywhere in the country, when they met you, they blown away. Do you hear me? The way that you calling me Mr. Gaskins, you the only person calling me Mr. Gaskins. I don't want to be called Mr. Gaskins. Now, I do respond as Mr. Gaskins when I'm responding to emails and it says Mr. Gaskins this, Mr. Gaskins that. I call myself that, but I don't want nobody to call me that like in real life. You calling me Mr. Gaskins. You're 23 years old. Your generation, Tony, what's up? You're 23 years old. You was a figure skater and a ballerina. Then you went to one of the most prestigious colleges for women and for black women, Spelman. That got a strong name. Spelman has a strong name. Whether it's a good education or not, I can't speak to that. My ex went there, and I don't know what else happened with her. But I got clients that went to Spelman. So, and they doing well in life. So when a man meets you, that automatically separates you, because Spelman gonna be different than Clark Atlanta in a man mind in Atlanta, and figure skater and ballerina gonna say something different to a man than playing softball. Ain't nothing wrong with those other sports, but to be a black woman is gonna send a different message. So what it is these men, they are intrigued. They intrigued, and you are something they've never met. You a unicorn. Out of all of the thousands and thousands of letters that I receive and that I have got, you are the first black woman that I have heard say that has all of this right here. Diverse background, diverse experiences, ballerina, figure skater, prestigious college, Spelman College, 23 years old, own your own company, working from home, making good money in New York City. That's that NYC in your email. You didn't say where you live at. But then when you said train, that let me know. And when I seen NYC and train, because we ain't walking no trains in the South. And because you get your car. New York, y'all walk the train. Subway, whatever y'all call that. And then you got your own company on here. You got the email at your.com. You got your .com on here. It's a LLC. You got the Twitter. So I'm finna go, not the Twitter, the Instagram. Finna be all in your business on Instagram. Looking at your company, seeing how y'all doing, what y'all posting, what your marketing look like on Instagram. So you got all that right there going on. So what you have to realize is when these men meeting you, that's why they blow. And the key is you staying off your back. See, you done been on your back and now you done wised up and you like, hey, let me stay off my back. So right now, this man that you got, he's still inside of the age range because he's 30. So he's 7 years older than you. Ideally, you want to be 5 years or less. You don't ever want to go over a man that's 10 years older than you. He's 7 years older than you. You seem pretty mature. So in age, y'all are equivalent. He doesn't feel like you're a child. He don't feel like you this little baby that he gonna have to raise. So if you were an immature 23-year-old, that would be totally different. That age gap would mean a lot. But not only do you have maturity, you have representation, meaning you have friends and family. You come from a successful, relationally successful family. You've seen healthy marriages and relationships. Your granddaddy, he 80, he want to see you get out and live and do your thing and have fun, telling you to go, hey, get your apartment, go on ahead, get your condo and live your life. Like, listen, don't miss these key years. So he looking out for you. He now still take care of granddaddy, tell him, listen, I'm 23, I'm a baby. I ain't in no rush. Because technically, you still a baby. So listen, your email say 23 and scared to let love in. You could change that from scared. You cautious. You cautious about love. And you've been through some things, so rightfully so. But this is a good thing. So let me tell you, and this to everybody. You said you took the 3 B's very seriously and got to work. God bless you. A lot of people hear stuff and don't get to work. So, and you graduated in 2019. So I'm going to tell you like this right here. Now, if I could afford you, I'd be done hired you. Because you look like you got your stuff together now. Be so young. But listen. I'll respond to say your answer will be posted today. Thank you. So don't write back now, cause you see me emailing. Cause I can already tell by your email you the type to write. Oh, so one more thing, Mr. Gas. While I got you, I'm gone. All right, I'm gone. Don't write back now. Write support at TonyGas.com to sign up for coaching. This right here, I don't answer no message in here twice. All these messages go to YouTube. That's it. Now I got to get going in 4 minutes. So I'm going to tell you this because I got to coach a client. So I'm going to tell you this. Listen to me. You're in a good space. You ain't scared. You cautious. You healed and you're healing. You and your healing. But this here precaution that you're taking, the time that you're taking is working in your favor. Because time works in your favor. When you work time and you allow time to work, it works in your favor. So here's the key. Keep working on your 3 B's. Keep working on your 3 B's because you could go from a ballerina to a sumo wrestler. So keep working on your 3 B's. And keep working, focus on every aspect. Brain, brand, body. You got that going. Keep watching your videos. Get your coaching. Get your therapy. Keep working on your money. Getting your savings up. And keep your legs closed. So if you're working on your 3 B's, and your legs are closed. And with this here man, I'm going to tell you with this man, don't push him away. Don't ignore his text messages. Don't ignore his calls. Go on dates with him. Have fun on the dates. Just don't put yourself in a position that he feels like he can make a move on you. Don't give him a key to your place when you get your own place. Don't let him come into your place until y'all like super all the way together. Like y'all done been together about a year. Cause you experienced something with a man that you trusted, a man that you thought, was a good man. Now I've been working on myself since I experienced a romantic trauma where a man within my own home, he was a man I believed I could trust as a friend. After this experience, I became shut off and didn't allow anyone in. Now I'm going to tell you something. That man right there is a sick individual. He's a sick individual. But I'm going to tell you something. This was a man that you thought you could trust as a friend. The fact that he did what he did that for one, because he's sick. Two, he did it because he felt like he would never be able to get you because of your standards and the way you carrying yourself. And his sickness, meaning his disgustingness, he need to be under the jail. And if you, I ain't gonna say what I want to say. I would let the family do what the family need to do, cause he deserved it. But you survived it. You live to tell your story, inspire, uplift, encourage other women. Use your brain that you have to start working and developing on your nonprofit for women who've gone through that and they need therapy to be paid for. After that right there, that's a therapy situation. Coaches, we don't deal with that. We deal with after you've come through and you healed on that and you ready to produce your book, start your coaching business, things of that. That's where coaches come in. So keep doing what you're doing and don't push this man away. Do everything you would do in a relationship, nothing sexual. No oral, no intercourse, no touching private areas, no nothing. The most he could do is a peck on the head, a peck on the nose, peck on the lip, peck on the cheek. He can't kiss booty cheek. He can't kiss he can't kiss nothing else. Peck on the hand. No in-house dates. Everything is out and about. Y'all walk in the lake. You walk in the park. You out and you getting the senses. Socially distance at the ballet because you used to be a ballerina. You hear me? At the figure skating events, socially distance. Y'all in there and y'all pod. You doing that right there. Okay? Keep doing what you're doing. And then guess what? When you get in this knowledge and you dating this man, what's going to happen is your heart is going to heal. And you're going to feel comfortable. And then you're going to be able to drop the guard a little bit to go all the way with him, meaning in a full, committed, exclusive relationship. No sleeping together. Then he's going to get on one knee and propose to you. And then you run him through the ringer. Your granddaddy got to approve him. If your father's living, your father got to approve him. I need to approve him. Your cousin that work in the NBA need to approve him. He got to get every man in your life stamp of approval. When you feel like dropping your guard enough to be exclusive with him. Don't sleep with him, because what you got going for yourself, a man will wait until marriage for you. He will wait until marriage for you. So understand that. And a man will wait on any woman for marriage, but a lot of women don't know that a man will wait, so they get on their back thinking he gonna go somewhere else. Now I'm a minute late from a coaching call. God bless you. We'll talk soon.